This is me in 2014. This is me 4 years after. You might be wondering about the difference. Well, I put weight. But it's not only this. Many things that I'm going to tell you in my story. My name is Tarek. I'm a Syrian refugee, a student here in Lyon, and today I'm going to tell you about my story. My story begins in 2014 when I was in Syria. I wanted to do something at that time. I graduate from my English department. I wanted to be a teacher, but life was getting difficult. So I decided to move, to go abroad. I went to Turkey, and I was full of hope and excitement. I thought it was my last destination. But no, life was more difficult. I looked for jobs many times. Like in 1 year time, I ended up as a babysitter. But the straw that broke the camel's back was that my brother, who was with me, decided to leave the country and to go to Europe. A week after his departure, I decided to leave too. So I took the same boat, the same dangerous trip that most of you know, and I went through the sea. 1 hour in the sea, some harassment from the Coast Guard, but fortunately, I made it with my friends to the Greek shores. I made it. Yes, I was so happy. I made it to Greece. I went on with my friends through Macedonia, and we were planning about something, planning about our dreams in France, in Germany, in Austria, where our destinations were going to be. We arrived to Serbia. We were thinking about the next destination, which was Hungary, and which was the hardest part of our journey. But at some point, and once we arrived to Hungary, we did not arrive, but I arrived alone. I lost my friends. I didn't know where they are. I didn't have a mobile phone. I didn't have anything to communicate with them, to contact my family even. I just found it myself in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest, alone. I didn't know what to do, whether I go back or I go forward. I thought for hours. And out of sudden, I saw an Asturian volunteer who was there. So I told him about my story, about what happened with me. He felt sorry for me, but he had nothing to do but to give me his mobile phone, and he took this photo. Then I decided to carry on my way. I charged myself with courage. I charged myself with hope that the coming is better. I went through the cornfields where I could hear the smugglers around me saying, "Taxi, Budapest, Budapest, taxi." And there were like crickets around me. I was so scared. I was so, like, I'm afraid if I was going to be kidnapped or not. But thanks God, I arrived to the other side of the road. I took a taxi to Budapest, where I took a train to Vienna. I made it to Vienna. The borders were closed with Germany, so I had to stay in Vienna for 2 nights. On the third day, I realized and I remember that I had the number of the Austrian volunteer. I stopped someone at the train station and asked him to call him. I called him, and he was in Vienna. He came and took me to his place. On my way to his place, I was thinking about the comfortable bed, the hot water, the proper food. I was so happy that I was not alone. I had someone beside me. In his place, he offered me a mobile phone where I could contact my family that I've been absent to contact them for 3 years, for 3 days, sorry. I contacted my family. Then I said to him that I'm going to carry on my way. But he said to me, I will not let you go. I will drive you all the way from Vienna to France. And that's what we did. We drove all the way from Vienna to France. We arrived in Mulhouse. And I booked my first ticket to Lyon, which was my destination. I arrived. I did it. I came to France after a week of hard journey, like sleeping at night on the floor in the train station. It was like a year for me, not even a week. Yes, I did it to Lyon, but I found myself alone again. In a shelter of asylum seekers, at the top of the mountain, where was no one. I didn't know the language. I didn't know anyone. But then I thought about something. Why not to give like you were given? Why not to help people as you were helped? So I became a volunteer in an association where we helped refugees, we helped asylum seekers. I was a volunteer for a year. Then after, I was recognized officially as a refugee. I had the positive answer, which allowed me to start my first job as a teacher, which I dreamed in Syria. Now, with determination, with patience, with hope, today I have my wife next to me. I'm reunited again with my brother, and our elder brother with his wife have come to join us recently. And I'm doing my higher study with the lovely team that I consider as my second family. That was not my only effort. It's not my individual effort. It was the effort of the solidarity. The effort of the people who don't let us down, who don't pass by us without helping us. It was the help of the people that I met during my journey, who supported me with words, with money, with anything they could, but they didn't leave me alone. But you know something? France was the last destination of my journey, but it's not the last destination of my dream. Thank you.